I'm Joe Reed. You're listening to Behind the Mic with AudioFile magazine. If you've been listening this week, you know Kendra Winchester has been with me, and she's been having, you've been having quite the week.
Lots of really intense stories this week, I think.
And where are we going today?
So I had to pick this one because it's a personal favorite, and I'm sure people can already hear my voice. I'm so excited for it. This is The Blackbird Oracle by Deborah Harkness, and this is performed by Jennifer Ikeda. And this is the fifth book in the All Souls series, also known as the Discovery of Witches series. I originally read the first book in grad school. It kept me sane, and I love it for that. And so in the previous trilogy, we had Diana, who is a young witch in academia, and she meets a vampire named Matthew who's centuries old. And maybe it's because I'm a millennial and grew up in the Twilight era and I love this kind of story, but I was smitten. And so, the author, Deborah Harkness, had cancer and was in recovery for several years. And so she wasn't writing a ton. And so now she's back with this. I think it's planned on being a few books. I'm not entirely sure how many, but this is the first in a new arc for Diana. And this time she's learning more about her dad's side of the family of witches. And so she's going to New England in the summer, and there's lots of New England summer vibes. And she's just learning the secrets of her father's family and reconnecting with them.
Now, there's a lot of time travel that happens through the Discovery of Witches books. Does it happen in this one too?
No, so there is no time travel in this one, but they're now in the present and they're kind of stationary there. But they do talk about her father, who is a time walker. The first set of books in the series, I should say, was mainly focused on her relationship with Matthew and Matthew's family and vampire lore and all of that. So now we're really focusing on Diana and Diana's father's family and learning more about witches in America and what that looks like. And I just really loved it. The main part, I guess, of the plot is that Diana and Matthew have two twins.
Pip and Rebecca.
Yes, yes. The ruling body of all of the creatures of demons, witches, and vampires, they want to inspect Pip and Rebecca. And obviously, that's kind of gross. And that's not something that Diana and Matthew want. So they're trying to figure out how to protect their kids. And so, yeah, it just continues the series. I had a lot of fun listening to this. I really love that the series is back, and I just really enjoyed it.
Well, let's talk about Jennifer's narration because she didn't narrate all the books, but like 4 out of the 5.
Yeah, she performed books 1, 2, and 3.
Why don't we listen to a little bit?
All right, so this section is kind of like a little introduction. Diana and her family plan to head across the pond over to England for summer study.
Okay, this is The Blackbird Oracle. It's book 5 of the All Souls series. It's by Deborah Harkness and it's read by Jennifer Ikeda.
It was a Friday in late May when the invitation arrived. Hey, Professor Bishop. I just put your last mail delivery through the slot. I'd been wool gathering on the familiar route home from my office at Yale, listening with half of my attention to Becca's excited chatter while the rest of my mind drifted. I hadn't noticed that we'd arrived at the ornate iron gate that guarded our house on Orange Street, or that our regular mail carrier, Brenda, was just leaving the property. Thanks, Brenda, I said, giving her a limp smile. The heat was withering. It was always like this in New Haven around graduation time, which led to frazzled tempers, damp academic regalia, and long lines for iced lattes at the city's many coffee shops. You must be excited about getting back to England, Becca, Brenda said. She was already wearing her USPS bucket hat and shorts, prepared for New Haven's warmer temperatures and sky-high humidity. I am. Becca hopped from one foot to the next to prove it. It's Tamsy's first trip, and I get to show her everything. Tamsy was a recent addition to the family, one of the historical dolls that were all the rage among the 13 and under set.
You know, the kind of exposition we heard just now, I think can be incredibly difficult to narrate, but Jennifer does it so well. And she's also really, really good with characters, who by now she must know like the back of her hand.
Yes, and, we are kind of meeting also the twins. They're, I think I wanna say 6 or something around that age, and so she does a great job with bringing their voices, their young voices, into it, and that's something that I was really delighted to hear, but yeah, she does the setting so well. I mean, I just love her performance for the series. It just is a highlight. I've listened to it several times. I'm just fan. So I'm just gonna fangirl here, apparently is what I'm doing today.
Okay, that's The Blackbird Oracle. It's book 5 of the All Souls series. It's by Deborah Harkness, read by Jennifer Ikeda. Thank you so much. I am going to be looking forward to this. The Sound of Storytelling. Behind the Mic is brought to you by Brilliance Publishing. And if you're listening to Behind the Mic and you like the show, give us a rating and follow us so that way we'll always be in your feed. I'm Joe Reed. Talk to you tomorrow.